Welcome to the Lifetime Assembly channel. My name is Isaac, and today I'm going to help you assemble your portable PowerLift basketball system with a 52-inch shatterproof backboard. Before we get started, make sure the model number of your system is listed in the description below. This video will follow the steps outlined in the assembly manual that comes with your system. So if you've already begun and need help on a specific step, check the description below for a timestamp associated with each step. There's steps in this assembly that require 2 people, so make sure you have at least one other adult available to help. Before we get into the assembly process, let's take a look at the tools you'll need to complete the job.
You may want to pause the video now so you can gather the supplies shown on the screen. Also, you may see us use an impact driver. If you decide to use one as well, be careful not to over torque or over tighten the hardware.
Depending on how you decide to fill the base of your system, you will also need a funnel and 325 pounds of sand or a hose connected to a water source. This video is meant to be a companion to the assembly manual and not a direct replacement. For the best results, have the assembly manual on hand as you complete the build. It is also crucial that you refer to the assembly manual to review the safety instructions of this build to avoid serious injury or property damage. All right, let's get started. This model has 3 distinct poles. This is your top pole, the one with the most holes. The middle pole has the warning label, and the bottom pole is the shortest. For this step, you'll need the top pole. Add a washer to each bolt, then insert into the small holes on the top pole. On the opposite side, add the sleeves. Add the pole bracket, oriented like this, and secure with the nuts. Slide the top pole onto the middle pole, making sure that this hole at the bottom of the top pole lines up with the slit at the top of the middle pole. Add the hardware. It's okay if it spins freely, just make sure that it's flush. Repeat the previous step with the bottom pole going into the middle pole. Before continuing, make sure that you did the previous steps properly, otherwise it will be extremely difficult to separate your poles after the next steps. We're going to seat the poles together by striking each end on a piece of scrap wood or cardboard 5 or 6 times. You will have to use some force, so watch your toes. It's important that you complete this step, otherwise your poles may separate during use, causing serious injury or property damage. If you notice any of the slits are still showing, do not continue and call a customer service department. Now we're going to secure the poles together by inserting the self-tapping screws into each of these holes.
These screws are designed to go through the metal underneath.
Insert the long axle into the bottom holes of the bottom pole. Then add a spacer to each side. Then add the wheels, then the remaining spacers. Then insert the short axle into the hole just above. With the pole bracket facing up, place the base onto the long axle, making sure the axle lands in these recesses. Rotate the pole up so the short axle rests on these notches. The pole brace has a flat end and an angled end. Connect the flat end onto this hole in the base right here, making sure that the angled end is oriented like this. This next step will be easiest if you lay the system on its side. This hole in the base may not be drilled out in your system. For extra help, click this link for a video. Only finger tighten this hardware for now. Secure the other ends of the pole braces to the pole with the hardware. The bolt may seem like it's too short, but the nut catches it on the inside. For safety reasons, do not stand the system up until you've properly added weight to the base. Once that hardware is tight, go back on the opposite end of the pole brace and tighten this hardware. Add a washer to the bolt, then a bushing. Insert the hardware into the oblong holes from the front of the rim. Then add your T-nut oriented like this. When you tighten this hardware, make sure it stays on the outside edge of this hole. Be careful not to over tighten this hardware. You don't want the bushings to bulge. Insert the U-bolt into the bracket like this, then insert it into the oblong holes on the back of the backboard. Place a plastic guard on the rim like this, then place the rim on the front of the backboard, making sure the U-bolt goes through these holes. Then add the nuts to the bolts on the back. Add the backboard brackets on the outside of these holes, oriented like this, then add your hardware going from outside in. Add the jam nuts all the way down the threads of the U-bolt. Then add your springs. Then your spring retainer plate, and secure with the nuts. Only tighten enough so the rim doesn't wobble. In preparation for the next step, it's helpful to use the threads at the end of the bolt to clear the excess powder coating on each of the holes. Attach the sword extension arms to the inside of the backboard brackets through these holes, making sure to add a spacer in between. Tighten this hardware until the nut is flush with the end of the bolt. Attach the long extension arms to these holes on the inside of the backboard bracket, making sure that these two holes close together go away from the backboard. Line up this hole in the pole with this hole in the long extension arm, then add your hardware, making sure the spacer goes in between the long extension arm and the pole. Repeat the previous step, attaching the end of the short extension arms to this hole on the pole. A little higher. A little higher. There we go. Right there. Take the gas spring and make sure the cover is on and oriented like this. Line the holes in the pole bracket with the holes in the gas spring and cover and add your hardware. Place the trigger into the handle, oriented like this, then add the hardware. Tighten this hardware until the nut is flush with the end of the bolt. Insert the release pin into the oblong holes on the gas spring. Line up these holes in the handle with these holes in the pole, making sure to add a spacer in between. Lift up the handle so the release pin rests in this notch on the trigger. Now add your hardware into these holes, making sure that the lifter arm goes in between the handle and the trigger. Line up the other end of the lifter arms with these holes on the inside of the long extension arms, then add your hardware. Add some of the provided grease to the release pin. Now remove the plastic film from the backboard. Add the center frame pad just below the rim, secure with self-tapping screws. Add the corner frame pad using the same method. It will overlap the center frame pad. This step goes over how to fill the base of your basketball system. You can click on this link here or refer to your manual in section 6 on how to do so. We've already filled the base of this system, so we're going to move on to the next steps. Now go ahead and add the pole cap. Attach the net to the rim by threading the large loops onto the hooks of the rim. Raise the system so the rim measures 10 feet from the playing surface. Add the height adjustment sticker to the gas spring, making sure the 10-foot mark is just below the cover. Thank you for watching this video on how to assemble your lifetime portable PowerLift basketball system with a 52-inch shatterproof backboard. If you found this video helpful, give us a thumbs up. For more content like this, subscribe to our channel. If you have any other questions, please feel free to reach out to our customer service team. And also for other amazing products, check out lifetime.com.